Welcome to Road to Billions podcast, the mentality of an entrepreneur. With your host, Moise Bertrand.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your host, Moise Bertrand, the Road to Billions podcast. Man, you guys, it's 1:45 a.m., July 23rd, and I'm pretty much gonna sleep tonight, man. To be real with you guys, I was actually listening to an interview Kevin Gates just recently had, and he really inspired me in great ways already. For those who don't know, I'm a big Kevin Gates fan. Shout out to Kevin Gates. Hopefully one day he listens to this and we lock in. But man, he really had me thinking in different perspectives when I was really listening to him. Going through college and going through high school into college, and I'm always talking about seeing rappers grow, because they're still people at the end of the day, So I kind of looked at Kevin Gates like one of those people who really have different perspectives, and you guys will hear me say that in my podcast a lot. Different perspectives. I kind of got that from him. That lingo he kind of says. But what I really wanted to just tell you guys, like, you just got to be yourself. I know I speak about that a lot, but we're hindered. We're hindered by what other people are going to think about us. We're hindered about the possibilities of what if it goes wrong. A scarcity mindset. We're hindered about, like, just not really being ourselves. And I kind of took a big approach into being myself a lot more into this year. I kind of told people no. I kind of cut people off without needing to give them an answer. I kind of shaped and shifted my circles around a lot, and I kind of grew into familiarity with myself. Like, I knew who I was, and I'm still learning who I am. But I kind of just am saying, like, I understand my purpose, and I'm walking more into the person I am, without no regrets, without no say so, without no permission from nobody. And I preach that to you guys. I know I'm a big entrepreneur, but there's times where I deal with stress. I deal with depression. I deal with low days where I don't want to talk to nobody. And people don't understand, like, being an entrepreneur is one of the hardest things you could ever do in life. And I put that on everything. Like, if you could be an entrepreneur, bro, and successfully do it, you could do a lot. So, it takes a toll on me when I try to be there for everybody. And at the same time, a lot of people expect me to just, hey, man, you just need to go do this and this and that, man. And I understand, but I kind of go off the feeling of what feels right to me, and a lot of people say, hey, what's your secret, man? Like, how did you get so far in life? And, like, what are you doing? And I try to tell people, like, I'm not a guru. I'm not a big, this person expert, but I go off feelings and I go off energy. Like, if you guys listen to everything I say, everything I tell you guys, like, I stand on it on 10. Like, I don't really back down for nobody, because I know who I am, and I'm starting to embrace that version of myself, especially going into me being 25 real soon. Big Virgo baby, shout out us. But yeah, I kind of am approaching my real purpose in life. And for you guys to understand, what is that purpose? My purpose is seeing that wherever I go in life, I grow that person, I grow that environment. And I'm not trying to say this on no cocky shit. I'm not trying to say this like on no arrogant ways. But what I am saying is, like, my energy is so pure to a point where if I link up or I chop it up with somebody's going to learn a different perspective from me. Somebody's always going to walk away with some type of information, and we're going to lock in the energy. If your energy is right, then I'm going to stay and have a conversation with you. If it's not, hey, I'm up out of there. But you're going to learn. And with you learning around me, I'm just going to take what I know and I'm just going to progress that into your life. Because, at the same time, I want everybody around me to understand, like, bruh, your purpose is to find your purpose. And once you find your purpose, you lock in and you don't let nobody stray you away from it. So I understand I have a purpose. I call it as the Midas touch. Like, I could touch anything. I could go around any environment and it'll just blow up. I have a mindset that for some reason people may call me crazy, and I tell people this a lot. But if I have problems, I'm never going to say problems. If I have an obstacle, or if I have an interaction with somebody, I kind of know that person already. It's kind of cliche that, I already know your kind. It's not really like that with me. I kind of look at it like, for some reason, like, the energy already is going to tell me who you are. Like, that may sound really crazy, but a lot of people don't understand. Like, when you really listen to yourself, when you really know yourself, some things you're not going to involve yourself with because your energy is not even going to let you connect with it even remotely. Like, you're not even going to, like, if you was ever going to text somebody you know you didn't really connect with, your energy going to feel all depressed. It's going to feel like really nonchalant. It's not going to feel like you're in it. And that's your energy blocking you from that person's energy, protecting you. And I kind of go about that in life. And all my close friends and people around me know how much hard work I put into anything I do, and like the craft I put into it. Like, people been seeing me grind since I've been in high school, bro. Like, with everything I've been doing in life. So wherever I go, I give people inspiration and motivation. Like, I'm just young as you guys. And I tell everybody all the time, like, I write down my goals. I write down the things I want to manifest, and I speak my dreams into reality. Like, I tell people I'm going to be very rich. I tell people I'm going to be very successful. One day I'm going to be driving Lamborghini Uruses around Atlanta, L.A., Cartier and Rolexes, and having a different lifestyle that I knew I was already going for, that I'm made for. And you just got to know yourself. You just got to know that if you're going to be the chosen one, you just got to show up. If you know you're supposed to be doing one thing, but you're really delaying your process doing another thing, like, you really hindering your growth, you really hindering your success, and you blocking your blessings. And I kind of look at life like that. Like, if you really want to be who you are, you really have to do a lot of soul searching. You really have to do a lot of growth. And I'm not perfect. I kind of go through my trials and tribulations, but I understand, like, the way I go about life, I don't go about it in a negative way. I don't look at it in a negative manner. I don't try to look at it as like a whole problematic like situations I'm always going through. I'm always looking at it like questions that eventually I will have the solution to. And I kind of let myself sometimes fall into bad habits, for a few days. But I'm not even looking at it like a few days no more. I'm looking at it like a few hours, because I had a time where sometimes if something didn't work out for me, I used to linger and just sloth on it for days. And now I look at a situation where if it's not working out in that very minute, I kind of have a solution and answer for it in the next few hours or a matter of minutes. And I ask God for that. Like, a lot of people who know me, I'm real big on energy and spirituality. Like, I just know people, bro. Like, that just sounds crazy, but when I come in contact with people, I just know I could just feel the energy. If it's a heavy burden, if it's a light burden, I'm like, man, you went through a lot, bro. Like, I'm sorry for what you went through. And they be like, what you mean? I'm like, and I just give them a rundown. People look at me like I'm crazy. They be like, wow, you just read me. Like, if anybody ever had a conversation with me, they understand how analytical my mind is. If you guys already could hear how I talk, but I'm very analytical, and I take very deep analysis of my environment, of my energy, and the people I come in contact with very thoroughly. Like, I don't play no games. That's why I barely have people I really hang with, because I'm just real big on that. But that's family. But I'm real big just on like being myself. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, I didn't become an entrepreneur accidentally. This shit was already in me. This shit was already made for me. It's already inscribed in a tablet in celestial court. God already had it in his Bible ready for me. Moist, you're going to be an entrepreneur. Because every time I had a job, I always looked at the job like, man, like, a lot of people tell me, bro, like, you need to go ahead and just like, this was 2 years ago, you need to go ahead and hang up entrepreneurship and go and focus on your grad degree. I said, why? Because that sounds appropriate to you. Well, that sounds like a good plan. So I told myself I'm never going to listen to nobody, because the way I look at it, I'm only listening to people I would take advice from. And the people I'm taking advice from, they don't listen to nobody. They take advice from people who are doing it better than them. But everybody has a stepping stone. Everybody has a foundation they have to stand on. That's being yourself. Once you know yourself, you know the answers that everybody else is trying to give you. You really can't get no validation from anybody else, because you really, at the end of the day, know who you are. Like, if you know you longing for somebody, right? Or you really not supposed to be doing certain things, your body's going to tell you, your consciousness is going to tell you automatically. It's up to you to defy it. At the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, if you want to go against it, cool. It's not going to really tell you any difference. You're just going to repeat a lesson that could be a bad or it could just be another good lesson, you know. But more than likely, I look at life like whenever I was growing up, man, a lot of people didn't understand. Like I have a gift, and I have a gift of just communication and just understanding people and really just embracing everybody, bro. Like I don't really have any bad blood with anybody. So when I go around and people sometimes say hateful things and contradicting statements about me, I kind of get fooled, and I'm like, damn, I thought I was, in everybody's eyes. But if you're not popping, you don't really. If you don't got no haters, not really popping. So I take deep breaths and I listen to myself and I tell myself, well, this person wants to be me, but I wouldn't want to be this person, and that's how I win. That's the mentality I walk around with. Like, you brought up me and topics and conversations, so I must be something that's lingering around rent free, and I must be hot. So I'm gonna keep it going. And like, when you really are a great person and peaceful person, you're gonna have people who try to irritate your demons. And I had people I dealt with in the past who wasn't healed, of course, and they kind of almost broke me, if not almost nearly did. And I had to re-heal myself, and I can't let myself go back to that same environment, that same situation, because a lot of people who came across me and did some wrongful things, I always told them, you will be back. And I always told everybody about that, friends, lovers. I told everybody about that, like business partners. And it always happens to be true, because my intentions with everybody is pure until you cross me, until you do something that really isn't, in alignment with what I have with you. So when I tell myself I'm real to myself, when I tell you guys be yourself, it's okay to just really walk in the path that you feel like is best for you. No one's going to tell you how you're going to be successful. No one's going to say, bro, you're going to get $1 million in 2 years if you really stick to what you're doing. No one's going to tell you that. Who tells you that? No one knows, for real. So your best bet is to always follow what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel energetic, what you could wake up in the morning and say, man, this is what I love doing. Like, I wake up every day and I love what I do. I love putting together businesses. I love growing people businesses. I love consultation with people. I love just giving people advice. I just love being that mentor and doing different things that a lot of people may never get a chance to do. But I'm striving for that financial freedom and that time freedom that I never was granted before, and that I never seen my parents or family have. I want to break generational curses, and I have to be that black sheep of the family. It's inevitable. Like, my family knows this already. They see how I rock. They see how I go, and they respect and they love me for it. But I'm always going to make sure, like, I'm doing this for a bigger cause. I'm doing this because I want my mom to retire in a big-ass house. I want my sister to have new cars every time. She don't got to worry about nobody taking care of her. I want my nieces to have trust funds. I want everybody around me to be good. Like, regardless if I got to take care of the bill, goddamn, I'm the one doing it, and that makes me feel at ease. So when I tell myself I have to go through a lot in days and times and years and months in order to really adjust to the profession that I'm really looking to be, I could take that. I could take that any day. But what I won't take is me being somewhere where I'm not happy, me being somewhere where I'm not being my true self, because then I'm lying to myself, and then my throat chakra really is not going to come out. Then my heart chakra is going to be blocked because I'm not really being my true self. Like, a lot of people who may listen to this podcast, you guys may be in relationships, or you guys may be in friendships that may have grown old, and you guys really don't want to let it go because you guys are afraid of what the other person is going to think, or if it's going to be morally right. But just let it go, because you being who you are for somebody else is only going to cause yourself more havoc. It's only going to cause yourself more stress. Trust me, guys, like, I've been through a lot. I'm only 24, but I feel like I've been here before, like many lifetimes, like on some real shit. Like, I don't even be funny. Like, I know people may not understand about, like, or believe in reincarnation, but I believe I was here before. Like, sometimes I feel like, damn, I already knew this was gonna happen, like, type shit. It's really crazy, but it's really scary. But I'm not trying to get too much into that. But what I'm really trying to say is, like, this, you have to just show up and really understand. Like, once you listen to your consciousness, once you listen to your heart, it can't lead you wrong. Every time I listen to somebody else over my heart, things happen, and I had to learn lessons. But whenever I listened to my heart, I learned that I was always right. I learned that even though if I took an L, I believed in myself, but that L was a lot better than listening to somebody else, knowing if I would have listened to myself, things would have happened a whole lot different, because that lesson wasn't for me to learn, and I learned somebody else's lesson, and I didn't really learn my real lesson. So whenever you start listening to yourself, you start really getting a feel for what's right for you, who's right for you, what's not good for you. You know, I kind of started working out a lot more. I go on hikes daily now. I kind of go do trail walks. And I kind of talk to myself a lot, man. I tell myself, like how I talk to you guys now, this is me having a therapy conversation with myself. Like, if you guys really look at me talking to this podcast, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm really talking to myself. This is my higher consciousness, like just talking. And I really get in waves where I want to tell everybody what's going on in my life. I want to tell everybody, hey, you need to do this, because sometimes I see people's success before they even see it before themselves. And that's what hurts me the most. Some people don't understand that. I see that for you, but you don't understand. You don't believe in yourself. So I can't help you get to where you need to get at if you don't believe in yourself. And I try to open everybody's eyes, not only on this podcast, but my personal friendships, the people I hang with on a daily. Like, bruh, like you don't have to be this person people want you to be. You changed, times changed, you have a different consciousness, you matured. What do you really want to do? Is it the money after, or is it the freedom you after? Because if it's the money, you could always build up skill sets and go get another career that's going to pay you higher. But if it's the freedom, it's a different type of style, it's a different type of lifestyle that people can't really grasp. Because if I could do anything I want, when I want, doing what I love, come on, I won. That's effortlessly. That's priceless. You can't pay me $1 million to stop what I'm doing. No one can pay me enough to stop talking on this podcast. As crazy as that sounds, like somebody said, I'll give you $20,000, $50,000 to stop making podcast episodes. I'll be lying to myself, because I know so many people are listening. I may have taken the money, but at the end of the day, I'm sleeping at night like, damn, I can't even make no podcast. People gonna ask me what happened to the podcast. Like, shit, like this is the way I communicate. This is the way I have my therapy sessions. You know, so I'll really be lying to myself. So all money isn't good money. And like I tell you guys, like if you follow your heart, things fall into place. I'm not looking at this podcast like a cash machine. I'm not looking at it like that. But if somebody end up giving me a check for $55 million, I wouldn't deny it either. I'll tell them, let's get it rocking. What you guys need me to talk about, we're going to rock out, because it was made for it. But like I tell you guys, like this is the pursuit of happiness. This is the pursuit of life. Like we all are in this to really find out what we're here for. And I don't want you guys, like after you guys listen to this episode, I really don't want any of you guys on God to look at your life different. I want you guys to look at your life different. And I want you guys to really ask yourself, like, is this job going to take me where I need to be at in 2, 3, 4, 5 years? How could I crush this goal that I'm taking 10 years to eventually accomplish? How could I crush it down into 3 years? Even 1 year, goddamn. Like, am I really happy where I'm at in life? I'm not where I want to be, but it's paying the bills. But okay, cool. Let's see what else I'm going to get into, so I could like continue to elevate myself and grow. You know, I'm always telling my sister, like, I'm like, bro, listen, things going to be all right. Like, you just gotta pace yourself, because now we're relearning a process. My family never really knew about investing or financials. I'm just now learning like how to run Excel and financial spreadsheets, and just knowing profit and loss statements, just knowing so much things about business that my family didn't know. Now it just gave me that breakthrough that I understand, like, I am that person who has to deliver that message to everybody else. I am that person who have to just continually speak to you guys, whether or not it's through the podcast or through my Instagram caption or my stories. I'm always looking for you guys to just learn. And the people around me know I'm always looking to give knowledge. So the very thing I want you guys to do is just really understand, like, I want you guys to make a vision board and write some goals down. I'll make another episode probably down the future about vision boards. But I really want you guys to take what I'm saying, man, and really pray on it. If you guys don't pray, meditate. Whatever you guys want to do, pray on it, man, and just really understand, like, you see yourself where you want to be at. Because I see myself where I want to be at, you know. And I speak things into existence all the time. I tell myself I want luxury cars. I want to travel in the most finest luxury transportations, live in the finest estates, have the nicest attire and satire and clothing and linens known to man, sit with kings, travel the world, do what I want to do, live life to the fullest and not give a fuck. A lot of people may not see that far into the future, but I see the apartment complexes I'm going to own. I see the $1 million and $1 billion deals I'm going to do. I see everything. But to a person who has not much of a surface level idea of who they are, that would be hard for them to attain their mind around that, wrap their mind around that. But what I'm telling you guys, I had that same consciousness when I wasn't in business, when I was trying to figure myself out. I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I still am learning and becoming who I need to be, but I don't have a definite say so in this process. I'm trying to really get to the end of it, if that makes sense. If that makes sense to you guys. And what I'm trying to say is, like, as hard as I work, what's meant to happen is always going to happen the way it should be, the way it was, written. So what I'm telling you guys is, you're going to always feel that nudge in your stomach that's telling you, if you're a singer and you could sing, why are you letting go of your talents? Why are you letting your talents go to waste? If you're a rapper and you really could rap, why are you letting that go to waste because you want to dim your light because somebody else told you one of the bars you said wasn't hitting? If you're an architect, if you're a tennis player, if you're a contractor, if you have great trade skills, photography, anything that's dealing with life, man, if you're great at something, embrace that shit. I embrace my podcast. I don't care how many people listen to this podcast on daily. I'm speaking to you guys because I know the true listeners are always locked in and they sending me DMs and text messages for the people who know me. And I'm always going to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it, because the way I evolved into the person I am, the man I am today, I wouldn't be this person 2-3 years ago. And a lot of people got saved. A lot of people got saved, I'm going to keep it at that. But a lot of people who don't understand the way I grew, if you guys didn't listen to my first podcast episode, I grew, man. There's a lot of trials and tribulations, and I had to be hurt to understand that the piece I'm going into was made because I earned it. I learned the lessons. I went over the cycles that needed to be learned. And I'm not understanding sometimes why things happen, but I always think about, what is it trying to teach me? Because sometimes when you don't learn the lesson for real, it's going to repeat itself until you learn it. It's going to bang it in your head. And sometimes the lesson is very much gruesome. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, nip everything in the butt now. Be yourself. It's okay if you guys have like stresses that's causing you delays. Like, think about this. Money problems, vanish it in your head. Relationship problems, vanish it in your head. Wanting to be very successful at an early age, at a certain age, needing to have this amount of money, vanish it in your head. Just vanish that shit. And give yourself a clean slate and rebrand yourself into that entity, into that person. It's not an overnight process, but it is a process. It's a transformation. You're going to have to go through so many friends, lovers, to really find your tribe, to really find your clique, to really find yourself as a person, your voice. So I'm not here to preach to you guys too much about just doing things your way, but I am trying to innovate you guys into a new way of thinking, letting you guys know, like, you don't have to be stuck to one thing. I know a lot of people went to grad school and they became very much successful professions, but they always want to do some other things on the side. Do it, you guys. No one's stopping you. The only person who's stopping you is you. If the money is so good at work and you can't do what you really love and you can't really make money from it, cool. Stay until you really find something that really could probably be profitable. But what I'm saying is, if you're really good at something outside of your job, embrace it. Take that knowledge and give it away. And therefore, you may never know, a hobby could turn into a business, and the business could take care of your lifestyle, and that lifestyle could provide money for the older generations. It's a new perspective that I'm giving you guys. I'm not here to judge. I appreciate you guys for listening to Road to Business Podcast. It's been an amazing journey. Keep praying for everybody. I hope that abundance and prosperity finds you guys in all areas of your life. and may God be with you. Appreciate you guys.